Yesterday, we discussed how Apex seems to be starting a brand new chapter and changing directions for their game, and today the good news continues. With some new information, of course, but also some information I forgot to mention in yesterday's video until, of course, I had already published it. Plenty to dive into and plenty to discuss as always. However, this video may be a little bit shorter than normal. With my wife being sick, my daughter being sick, my sinuses acting up, I'm gonna try to keep this one short and let's jump right into it. So I told you guys yesterday that there was a lot of good news to cover. With the Team Deathmatch mode coming into the game, the potential of the removal of arenas, it could be replaced by Team Deathmatch. It could be replaced by Control mode because the rumor originally was that Control mode would be the new permanent mode. But in this, I saw that a lot of you guys in the comments were pretty happy about Team Deathmatch, but you were just saying, I hope it's permanent. I forgot to mention that it is permanent, at least according to all of these sources. I don't know why I forgot to mention that, but yes, it is not just a nice little 2-week mode. It is a permanent mode. There was also some information that Thornton Smash had heard that there's actually a new playlist being developed, and it brought me back to something that the senior producer Josh Medina had actually made mention of about 4 or 5 months ago at this point that I wanted to discuss, and that was the fact that they were taking community suggestions in making an LTM rotating playlist. At least that was part of it. Now, this we don't know for sure is coming with season 16, but we have heard, according to these sources, that they are working on that. Now, the modes would not be permanent, but the playlist apparently would be permanent, into which they would just constantly be rotating out limited time modes. Now, this brought me back to this original tweet that PvP actually made of how to fix Apex Legends back in September when the game was extremely boring. He had a casual play over here with groups and trios and no group trios, basically just being solo queue or basically having no members on your team at all and just 1v3 in the lobby. Ranked ALGS balancing, so a more competitive play aligned with ALGS. An arcade mode where you have Team Deathmatch, Control, and 3v3 arenas constantly rotating, and then obviously your private lobbies as well. Well, it looks like they actually might be kind of taking some notes here because we did get a response from Josh Medina that he was taking notes, basically saying one question, what do you mean by this? Looks like he's writing down some notes here, and they're taking note of all of this as well. Now, this probably won't be exactly how it's developed because Team Deathmatch should be a permanent mode from what we know. Control mode will eventually be a permanent mode from what we know. 3v3 arenas may be like a permanent in the same category, but they might just be completely scrapping it. I'm not sure. However, the limited time playlists of what they should be rotating would be more along the lines of like Armed and Dangerous, or maybe even Flashpoint, maybe even Always Be Closing, if you guys remember those game modes as well. And I would imagine even the new game mode that we're getting very shortly, which is going to be Heat Wave, where basically like there's just like beaming hot sun, I guess, that performs a lot of heat on anyone that's outside. And so you got to be in cover, you got to be inside, you got to be indoors, and if you're outside, you'll take a lot of damage. So these are a lot of battle royale game modes. I would imagine they're going to stay inside of these limited time modes, but there's some that are going to come out as more permanent modes, and like you could even tell which game modes have a little bit more design in them. So like obviously the battle royale takes on things that of course there's a lot of time and effort put into that, but you can tell Gun Run LTM has a lot more time and effort put into that. Control mode obviously has a lot of time and effort put into that. These seem more like robust modes, things that would stay permanent. I imagine that what they're doing is just building an entire multiplayer scene. Control, like a lot of their modes will recently have been like extremely polished and well developed. Gun Run cannot just be an LTM. There's no way that that game mode is that polished and that refined and that smooth, and it's just meant to be a limited time mode. I think that they're just working on a bunch of multiplayer game modes and they're gonna like release it that way. So of course, some really good news with this next chapter of Apex that is supposed to be announced tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern time if you guys want to watch that trailer. But there's also some other changes that is coming. There's something that we have been discussing, and I kind of wanted to see it so much during this ALGS, of a lot of teams that obviously could not go get their banner cards, and there should be a way, so to say, that's what some people say, that you should actually be able to recover banner cards after they go out, like at least give a very hard task in order to do so. If I'm going to be honest, I really don't think that there should be. I think the whole idea that we have reboots and, being able to recover your banner cards and revive them is good enough of a second chance. You really shouldn't have like a second chance in any way, in my opinion. But however, obviously people might enjoy that, and it may be a step in the right direction. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying that I know everything, but could be going into a world where you will be able to craft your teammates' banner cards. Thornton Smash put out a tweet yesterday, obviously having some of these inside sources saying support legends are going to be eating ... wait, I mean crafting. It'll make sense soon. Someone responded to it, and he actually gave credit on his video saying that he actually knows something probably. Man, we all know that support legends can craft dead teammates in next season. Wait, being silenced here. So obviously indicating that he knows something that we don't. And he says, I meant their banner. So it looks like you'll actually be able to craft your dead teammates banner cards, but only if you're a support legend. So it's probably going to be one of their next perks. There was also another tweet that kind of coincided with all of this, with Crowd Rindo basically saying, Lifeline, you know, you guys are going to have a bright future. And then someone commented and said, what about Loba mains? Anything at all? And says Loba is also eating good. So this would make sense because both Loba and Lifeline are going to be in that support class there. And so that would make sense as to support legends having this new ability to craft dead teammates banner cards. We even spoke a couple of videos ago about Wraith getting like a double portal buff, like the double the distance, Pathfinder buff, ultimate going double the distance as well. And Thornton also saying that you go faster now on the zip lines. It's going to be crazy to see all the OG legends back in the meta. I'm interested to see what you guys have to say down in the comment section below. Make sure to like the video if you guys did enjoy it, and subscribe if you guys want to stay up to date all things Apex Legends related. And also, the winner from the $100 cash giveaway is on the screen right now. Make sure to DM me on Discord or Twitter, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care of yourselves, and until next time, I'll see you later, Gators.